wonderful week. And if you're joining us for the very first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. We love new faces and we would love to hear from you actually. So why don't you send us a message on Facebook or on WhatsApp Connect, or you can even email me, and we would love to hear from you if this is your first time at Grace Point. Now, before we do anything else, I know there's a lot of boys and girls waiting to see if their name is going to be up on our birthday list, because a lot of you had birthdays this week. So let's quickly go to our birthday list and see who had a birthday this week. Well, boys and girls, I hope you had a fantastic birthday, that you were spoiled rotten, and that you got everything that you wished for your birthday. Now, I think it's time for our offering. And you know what, boys and girls? My offering tin walked away this week. I don't know what happened to it. So, I know Vicky and Lolo is looking for my tin everywhere, but I hope your tin is at home. Maybe he's somewhere here. Can you have a look and see quickly? I can't see it. Anyway, let's continue with our offering. Now, boys and girls, do you guys remember why do we do offering? That's right. Your money and your parents' money that has been put into Grace Point account helps us to go and buy food for those families who are really struggling at the moment. Maybe they lost their jobs because of COVID. We don't know the situation, but we do know that we can help them because you guys are being so generous in your giving so that we can actually help them. You're also helping us to keep the church going. We have to buy sanitizers, we have to pay salaries, and you guys are doing all of that by putting your money either into your money boxes and bringing it to church when you're ready to come back face to face, or your parents are putting it into your accounts. Right, so let's pray for our offering to this week. Close your eyes, put your hands together. Father God, we just thank you so much that we have the opportunity to take our money and give it to you and your church and the people of the church. I pray, Father, that this week you will help the people here at Grace Point to use this money wisely for the needs of those around us. We thank you for your love, and we thank you for your favor and your blessings. In Jesus' name, Amen. Okay, boys and girls, now there's just one more thing to do before we're going to zoom to the winner of the week, and that is competition time. That's right. So this week, boys and girls, is our week 6, and you guys need to tell me, firstly, where am I and with who am I? Now I know a little person, one of our crew members, either Chris or Joy or Gizmo, has been popping up. So you need to tell me, A, was it Joy? B, was it Chris? Or C, was it Gizmo? And then tell me, where am I? Am I in the foyer of the church? Or am I standing in the adult church? Or am I in the Doodle studio this week? I don't know. You guys decide. So choose A, B, or C, or either one of the questions. Send them in, and let's see, maybe you will be next week's winner. Right, I think it's time for us to zoom to the adult studio, movie studio, where we are going to meet this week's winners. I will see you then. Bye.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Worship with Kezia. My name is Kezia, but you can call me Kez or Kezia, whatever you're comfortable with. And what is your name? Well, it's very nice to meet you. And if you are here for the very first time, hi everyone! I'm so excited you guys decided to join us this morning, and I hope you guys have a load of fun with us. And for all of you who have been joining us for the past few weeks, hi! I'm so excited you guys are back, and I hope you guys have a load of fun as well. So today our first song is really easy and it's called Before I Go. So all the words you need to know is, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So that's all the moves. Wanna try it? Okay, let's go. So we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, are you ready? Perfect, let's go!
Before I go, I stop. Before I go, I stop. Before I go, I stop. I don't want my day to flop. Before I go, I stop. Before I run, I walk. Before I run, I walk. Before I run, I walk. I sit with the Lord and talk. Before I run, I walk. And then I go all out beyond any doubt. I want my life to shout, God is alive in me. And then I go all out beyond any doubt. I want my life to shout, God is alive in me.
So much fun, everybody. I know I had so much fun with that one. Okay, so the second one is called Let Your Light Shine, and it's really easy as well. So you're gonna go let your light shine, let your light shine, let your light shine, and let Jesus shine through you. Okay, so let's try that again, okay? So we're gonna go let your light shine, let your light shine, let your light shine, and let Jesus shine through you. So, are you ready? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I asked, are you ready? Perfect, let's go.
Here comes to blow out all a great big shout. Let your light shine, whoa. Let your light shine, whoa. Let your light shine and let Jesus shine through. 'Cause I'm not scared, I'm gonna let my light shine. And you're not scared, 'cause you're gonna let your light shine. We're not scared, we're gonna let our light shine. 'Cause Jesus is Lord, and He's gonna let His light shine. You ready to sing it? Let your light shine, whoa. Let your light shine, whoa. Let your light shine and let let your light shine, whoa. Let your light shine, whoa. Let your light shine and let Jesus shine through you.
Thank you so much for joining me today at Worship with Kezia. I hope you guys had so much fun. I know I had so much fun with you guys this morning. And today's lesson is going to be all about Joseph in Egypt. But let's just quickly recap our salvation poem actions so that you guys know exactly what we'll be doing during the salvation poem. So we're gonna go. Jesus, you died upon the cross and rose again to save the lost. Forgive me now for all my sins. Come be my Lord, my Savior and friend. Change me now and make me new, and help me, Lord, to live for you. And those were all the moves. So I hope you guys enjoy your lesson today that was all about Joseph in Egypt, and I will see you during the salvation poem. Bye!
Jesus, you died upon a cross and rose again to save the lost. Forgive me now of
boys and girls, thank you so much for coming back after our welcoming out there. And now it is my privilege to introduce to you guys the winners of week 4. Well, welcome. And can you tell the boys and girls out there who you are and how old you are?
I'm Jessica Pepler and I'm 8 years old. I'm Kirsten Pepler and I'm 5 years old.
So these 2 beautiful girls are our winners. Now, first I want to know from you guys, what have you been doing when we had lockdown? Because this is the first time in 7 months that I'm seeing you guys face to face.
Homeschool.
Did you do homeschooling, Kirsten? Oh, did you like it? No. Are you back at school now?
Yes.
That's fantastic. And Jessica, what did you do?
I was also doing homeschooling.
Perfect. And your parents told me that you guys as a family, because it was so boring being at home, they did a virtual tour of different countries around the world. Am I right?
Yes.
And what did you guys do as a family? That was fun.
So we watched videos on the big screen, played games.
So was it games of that country?
No.
No. And the food, did you guys make food from those countries?
Yes.
I know, your mom told me, and she put it all on Facebook. Now, tell me, what have you guys missed the most from children's church while we were in lockdown?
Worship.
Kids.
School. Kids.
Worship and also being a
Kezia.
kids' church. So, when you guys were at home and you couldn't come to church, what was the thing that you missed the most?
Going to the kids' church.
Going to kids' church, hey. And you? What do you love doing in the front of the church? Your parents told me you said you missed this the most.
Dancing. We always dance at the front when you're doing songs
at the back.
and stuff.
That's right. They are always dancing in the church while we're doing worship. And your parents told me you missed that terribly. Hey, besides children's church. Now, I know you guys know what the answers were last week. So can you tell everybody, now maybe I can ask you, Jess, where was I?
You were standing in the kids' foyer.
Yes, the kids' courtyard. Hey, that's right. And Jess, and Kirsten, what was the little character that came up?
This week,
No, last week.
Gizmo.
Gizmo, that's right. It was Gizmo. And tell me, who is your favorite character?
Gizmo.
Gizmo, and for you?
Chris.
You like Chris. Okay. Well, I like Joy because she has a ponytail and I want a ponytail. And also she's just my favorite. Anyway, okay. So, I am so glad you guys came in and we could introduce you to everybody out there and that you were our winners. Congratulations again. So I was wondering, before we go, have you got a shout out to someone? Do you want to say hello to someone? I'm going to start with you, Jess.
Hi, Dad.
And you?
Hello, Mommy.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, that's all from us here in the Winner Studio. And now remember, boys and girls, quickly go and watch the welcoming of week 5 and get your answers in so that you can come and meet me face to face like Jess and Kirsten here at the Grace Point Online Studio. Alright, so we are going to now take a quick break and then we are going to our lesson, which is all about Joseph this week. I'll see you there. Are you guys ready to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back after our competition winners. I'm so happy, aren't you? Right, now let's get to our story for today. Now today, we find it's actually a very nice story with lots of things that is happening in this movie. So you're going to have to keep your wits with you when you're watching it. And I'm going to try to make it a little bit more easier for you to understand the story. But we started with Chris. And we find that Chris he's got a plan, boys and girls. He is so focused. He's got a plan to get all his chores done, clean his room, pack away his clothes, because he wants to leave on time for a very important soccer match that his dad is taking him to. And no one is allowed to actually stop him from his plan. He is so focused. And then he gets in the car with Joy and Gizmo and his dad, and they're zooming off to the game just for his dad to pull over to help someone who's in need. And this throws Chris's plans out the window and causes him to be quite angry and mad. Hey, I would be too. Now, I wonder if you guys have ever had that, where you had so many plans in your mind and then something happens to actually stop it, or it doesn't happen. I can just imagine if you guys were going, oh, I'm going to clean my room, pack away all my toys so that I can go play with my neighbors next door, and then mom walks in the room and says, oh, by the way, we're going to Gran. And you're going, what? That was not my plan. I was going to go play with my friend next door. And you see, boys and girls, we can all have plans, but what today's lesson's going to teach us is that sometimes our plans aren't always God's plans, or our parents' plans for some reason, hey, if we're very little. So let's go back to our actual Bible story. So while they are sitting on the side of the road waiting for Chris's dad to actually help this person, Superbook zooms them and takes them and transports them to ancient Egypt. And here they meet a man called Joseph. Now, boys and girls, this is the movie that I have spoken to you about. That is so much happens. There's so much tea and spice. If you're a teenager, you will know what that means. Hey, there's so much happening. And I can just tell you a few things. I mean, Joseph was very loved by his father, and he spoiled him rotten. He got him this beautiful coat, but his 12 brothers, were so jealous that they actually sold him to slave drivers who actually bought people to become slaves in Egypt. They sold him to them. He then went to Egypt, where he had to work very hard in Potiphar's house, and then he got accused, oh my goodness, for something that he didn't do, and then he got thrown into jail, and oh my gosh, one tragedy, one thing after the other happened to Joseph. And because God gives Joseph the ability to actually tell people the meaning of their dreams, Joseph is taken out of the prison. He meets Pharaoh, and he actually tells the king what his dreams mean. And I'm not going to tell you all of that, because then I'm going to give the story away. So I don't want to do that. What I am trying to tell you guys is that so many things happened to Joseph. Now, Joseph, I am sure, as a little boy and as he grew up, had plans. He wanted to be this, he wanted to be that, but then his plans got changed by his brothers, changed by circumstances where he was accused of doing things he didn't, putting into check. So his plans and what he thought would be never worked out. And you see, boys and girls, when we look at the whole story of Joseph, what we realize is that God actually used Joseph and his very adventurous and in a way tragic, sad life to actually get full circle to the reason why Joseph was actually born and why all these things happened to him. Because you see, boys and girls, the dream that Pharaoh had was something to do with a famine. And again, I don't want to tell you too much, but a famine means there would be 7 years where there's lots of food, but then 7 years where there will be no food and people will be dying from hunger. And you see, boys and girls, when we look back at the whole story and we could actually walk through Joseph's life, we actually realize that if Joseph wasn't favored by his father and he didn't have his jealous brothers throwing him in the pit and then selling him to slave people who buy slaves, and then taken to Egypt, where he then was put into jail, and then eventually meet Pharaoh, and where he then tells Pharaoh what his dreams meant, you see, he would not have been able to save his family. Because what happens at the end of the day, boys and girls, his brothers comes to Egypt during this famine to actually buy food. And who is there to sell this food to them? Joseph. Now, nobody would have actually given them this amount of food or given them a place to stay if it wasn't for Joseph. So you see, boys and girls, we all have plans, and we make our plans, and we try and live our lives according to our plans. But at the end of the day, God is actually the person who's in control of all our plans. And he, through miraculous ways, directs our ways. And you know what? We might not see it now, but when we are older, we're going to look back and we're going to go, that's why this had to happen to me. And that's why that happened to me. Do you know, boys and girls, when I was a little girl, I never dreamed that I was going to be a pastor one day. I wanted to be a doctor, and I wanted to be rich and famous. And when I got to know Jesus when I was 21 years old, and somebody said to me, you're going to be a pastor one day, I laughed at them because that was not my plan. My plan was definitely not to be a pastor and speak to you guys online today. No, I was going to be a doctor, and I was going to save the world. But you know what, guys? When I look back now, I realized all the things that I had to go through as a child and as a teenager and as a young adult, and then getting married and having a daughter, all of that had a reason. I had plans, but God had a better plan for me, because I can't think of anything better than to serve Jesus, to look after you guys, the children at Grace Point, be your pastor and help you through tough times and pray with you and teach you about Jesus. I just love doing that. But many years ago, I would never have thought that, because those were not my plans. So, what is the lesson today? And I want to read it to you in the Bible. And I don't often during the lesson do that, but I want to read it to you today. And in Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 6, we read the following. Trust the Lord with all your heart. Don't depend on your own understanding, your own plans, some other translation says. Remember the Lord in everything you do. So give him your plans. That's what the Bible says. Remember him, give him your plans, and he will give you success. So at the end of our story, when we're sitting in the car with Chris, he says, actually Joy says, maybe we'll still make your plan. We might get back to the soccer game in time. And then he says, what I've learned is to put my plans maybe on hold and let God's plans be mine. And so to this week, I want to really encourage you. Yes, it's good to make plans, but also be open to God changing it and making it different, because maybe we can't see it now, but in the long run, he's going to use it for success. He's going to use it to help people. He's going to make things better for other people through you. Okay, so that is my long story today. Just like the movie is full of action, my lesson was full of things too, hey? So, now you can do one of two things, boys and girls. You can either pause the video and you can go watch the movie of Joseph, all exciting movie, or you can continue and come with me to the Doodle studio, where we are going to do craft today with Vicky. And it's actually very nice creative craft. Okay, so you decide what you want to do. Remember, everything that we have spoken about is on our kids' website. And for my little big children, remember, if you don't want to watch the movie because you think it's too long, you can go listen to the story in our audio storybooks. Okay, and then the rest of you guys can watch the movie, Doodle Studio, and have tons of fun. And I can't wait to see you next week with another amazing story of with the characters and Superbook. All right, have a wonderful week. Be blessed, and don't forget to send your entries in for the competition. Bye! Hello, boys and girls! Are you ready for today's Doodle Studio? Are you ready? Yes, let's go! How to doodle, just doodle it, Doodle Kids! Vicky, I'm to you and I love you.
Yay.
So, Vix, our lesson today was all about Joseph. You know that.
Yes.
So, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed our lesson learning about Joseph. Now, you know what was the very important thing we learned? Is that we can plan all the ways we want to do things like Chris did, but who's the one who actually directs our plans?
It's God.
That's right. And remember at the end of our story, if you've listened to the movie, Chris realizes that he's got a lot of plans, but he's going to actually leave it up to God to do God's plans in his life. And that's a good thing, isn't it, boys and girls? So with our craft today, we plan the craft, Vix.
Yes.
But what you do with it is up to you. So we're going to show you, and you can be creative, follow the steps, just like Chris did. But just remember, you guys can do whatever you want to do with it. It's such a nice creative craft today, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so remember, Mommy and Daddy and your guardian can take you to the kids' webpage. You go to the Doodle studio, and your age-appropriate craft will be there on a tab. Now, we're going to show you 3 of the crafts that is on there, and you can do all 3 of them, and you can even go onto the website and do even more.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the first one we're going to do is this. This is little Joseph. Isn't he cute? And we're going to give him a little dress or a coat to go on, and we'll talk about that coat a little bit later. But right now, this craft is about us making a little puppet of, or a finger, or a, I don't know what you'll call it, a stick puppet, hey?
Yes.
Of Joseph, so that you can use him, this little stick puppet, to actually tell the story to everybody.
Yes.
Now, boys and girls, we know that Joseph has got a lot of things that happen to him in the story. We know that he gets a special coat from his dad, and we know that his brothers are jealous and sells him into slavery, and he goes all the way to Egypt, and there he thinks he's okay when he's working for Potiphar, but then, oh gosh, something happens and whoops, he's into prison, and then in there he again works there, and he works himself up, and then the king has a dream and nobody can tell this dream, and so, oh my gosh, and then poor Joseph is then taken out of prison again, and eventually he becomes the second ruler under Pharaoh. That's right. So because there's so much that happened to poor Joseph, we couldn't have craft that covers all of that, right? No. So we just chose a few for you that we're going to do. You guys can actually go, there will be more on the website, and you can decide what you want to do more. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is cut out little Joseph.
Yes.
Right? Have you done that?
Yes.
So there you go. I'm so glad you did. So there we go. There's little Joseph. Let me see your Joseph. Okay, there's Joseph. So your page looks like this, and this is the cut out little Joseph. And then, guys, you have got his little coat. Now, remember, you have to cut out these little lips on the top of it, because it actually hooks over little Joseph's shoulders and around his shoulders like that. And then he is now got a dress on, because now he's no longer naked, right? There we go. And then what you do is you're going to stick on the stick at the back like that, okay? So that you then have a little stick puppet. But what you can do is, and I know you've already done it, you can color in his jacket. Now listen, this is the part where I want you to be creative. You can color it in like us, you can take glitter, yes, and you can do glitter on his little jacket. You can make it however you want. I even saw a picture where they used like little sticks like these, but the glitter ones.
Oh, yes.
And they cut it into pieces like this, little bits, and then they stuck it on like that. So you can dress him up just like you want, as long. Let me just stick my stick on. Do you want to stick your stick on at the back?
Yeah.
I'll do that. Can you see, Adam? So you can see Adam. There we go. Can you see we're sticking on our stick? There we go. Oopsie, oh my gosh, sorry, it didn't stick properly. on. So stick your stick on. Can you see it's there? Okay, so we've got that going. And then you're going to take your drip. Oh look, I put 2 eyes on you. Can you see that? There's the 2 eyes. Did you also put 2 eyes on? I will put it now. Look, he looks quite cool. It could be sunglasses, but it's actually his eyes. But he's a cool dude. And then you just hook. Are you getting this, Adam? Yes. Okay, so we're hooking these. Can you see there's my little lips up here and there? And what I'm doing is I am basically just bending them around his shoulders and also the top part of his shoulders there. And there he's got his cool coat on. Have you got yours on? Yeah. We got 2 cool dudes going on here. Hello. Okay, so there's Joseph, and you can use him when you're listening to the audio storybooks. You can use little Joseph to tell the story to maybe a sibling or to your parents or guardians. Or when you do the lesson review, you can actually use Joseph to tell the story. Right. Now the next thing I want to show you is we're going to make, because you know what, his coat is quite important. Because of his coat, he actually, and the jealousy of his brothers, because of this coat, he actually, the whole story starts of Joseph, where he is then put into a well, and then they put his little coat in blood so it looks like he died, and then the people who buy slaves came about, and they took him, and they gave the money to his brothers, and off he went to Egypt. So if it wasn't for this coat, maybe the brothers wouldn't have been so jealous of him. We don't know. But let's just see. Now this coat, you can do whatever you want to. Now I know Vicky has decided that she is going to color in her coat, right? Yes, I'm coloring. And she's coloring. I, on the other hand, decided to use some stickers. Look at mine, isn't it gorgeous? It is. Now look, this is the stickers your parents can buy for you. They are not expensive, and you guys can do all different colors. Oh, I've got one on my hand now. And you guys can literally stick them on like that. And look how beautiful our coat is. That actually got Joseph in big trouble, because even though his father decided that he wanted to really favor and spoil Joseph, it actually meant that his brothers got very, very jealous, and they did stuff that they shouldn't have done. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that is Joseph's coat. Now, for you guys who have siblings at home, I hope that you guys will not get to a point like Joseph. No. And his brothers. No. So rather forgive. Remember last week with Esau and Jacob, we learned that forgiveness was very important. I pray before you throw your brothers in the well or sell it for slavery, please love your siblings, forgive each other, and play nice. Okay, the last craft we're going to have is a little pyramid. Now, the picture that you'll get in your pack will look like this. Okay, that's a very weird shape, isn't it? Yeah. You don't know what that is. Well, you don't know what that is, eh? It looks weird. But there's 3 faces on here, and these are the 3 faces of Joseph. So the first face is obviously here. He is sold into slavery, the one in the middle, and you can see he's even got a chain around his neck, because in those days that's how the slaves were pulled, to wherever they went. So he was sold as a slave to Potiphar, and then he worked himself up in Potiphar's house, and that's his second phase, where he now is an official and looking after Potiphar's house. But then I told you guys something happened. He was accused that he did this, and he was back in jail. And it was the same chains that they used for slaves, was also the chains that they used in jail. So that's why we're back to him on this page, again, in the middle. And then, remember, if you watch the movie, he then gets set free, because he can actually interpret the Pharaoh's dream about the 7 fat cows and the 7 skinny cows, which means there's going to be 7 years of famine and 7 years years old.
Lots of food.
Exactly. So because of that, the king was so impressed with him, he actually put him in charge of the country. And here, he is second in command of Egypt. You can see he's got that Egypt little crown thing going on here. And he is the prince of Egypt now. Now, what are we going to make? So who knows? Let me see if Vicky knows. Vix, what is very well known in Egypt? If you see a picture of it, you go, oh, that's in Egypt.
It's a pyramid?
Yes! Remember, boys and girls, the pyramids of Egypt is so well known. And what happened was, the people built these pyramids for as grave, they like tombs for like pharaohs. Pharaohs were so important. The kings now, that they actually commanded people to build these pyramids, and only then, with all their stuff and their animals, are then buried in these pyramids. How strange is that, people? Wow. Okay, so we're going to make a pyramid. So what you need to do is you're going to take this little lid, and you're going to, let me do it from this side again, you're going to fold it like that. Can you see? We're folding it, and we're folding that side. And then, don't go too far because otherwise you're going to have a cone and not a pyramid. Actually, you know what we can do to really make it? Let's make it really nice. And let's first go and flatten these things like that. On the lines, fold it. Can you see our pictures look like little pyramids? Can you see? As we're folding it, they look like little pyramids. There we go. Little miniature side views of a pyramid. Can you guys see? Oh, it's actually very cute. And now, look at that. That's it. Look at that, boys and girls. I have a perfect pyramid with the three faces of Joseph. Now, all you need to do to finish your picture is to take. Now, first, you know what we didn't do, Hicks? What didn't we do? We didn't color it. So you guys are going to color it, so we're not going to color it. We're going to let you do that coloring today. So there's my perfect little pyramid. Isn't that just amazing? Look at that. Absolutely perfect pyramid. So now we know that Joseph is in Egypt. Okay. He was first a slave and then in prison. Then he worked as an official for Potiphar, and there he is actually second in command. Now, why is Joseph's story so important, boys and girls? You see, when we think of Joseph's story, Vicky, it's like a sad story, isn't it?
It is a sad story. Very sad.
Because it's got jealousy in there. He then gets sold. Can you imagine the fear he must have felt when he was all alone with these strangers? Maybe they were hitting him and not feeding him. Then he gets to Potiphar's house. He has to work very hard so that he can actually work himself up. And I can just imagine he hardly slept and he worked very hard. And then just to be put back into prison.
For the things he didn't even
Exactly. But you see, boys and girls, God had a plan. They knew that Joseph had to that his brothers and sisters had to be jealous so that he could go into the pit, so that he could go to Egypt. Then he couldn't stay at Potiphar's house because he couldn't make a difference there.
Yeah.
Then he got put into prison. When he got into prison, he now got an opportunity to meet Pharaoh. And Pharaoh got a liking to him. He became the second person in control. And then when the famine hit and his brothers came to look for food, who was in control?
Joseph.
So you see, boys and girls, sometimes we look at things and we go, I don't understand this plan. It doesn't make sense to me. But you see, God knows exactly what He is going to do. And on the pyramid it says, we know that all things God works for the good of those who love Him. And what this means is that God will make everything work and gel right. Even if it takes years, even if it's like next week only, or even if it's months later, God will use whatever is going on in our lives for good, because he loves us and we love him. Okay, so these are crafts for today, guys. We have our pyramid that you must color in. We have little Joseph that you're going to use as telling the story. And we even have the coat that you can brag with. Hey. Okay, so boys and girls, that is our Doodle studio for today. We are going to say goodbye to you now. And next week we're going to have another amazing story from Superbook to share with you. And obviously the craft. And what was you forget? The competition! Where is Liana and with who? I want to see those entries coming in. Alright, shall we say goodbye? Yes. Okay. 1, 2, 3.